The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Mark mentioned. Mark mentions the subtle art of not giving a fuck is a brutally honest, thought provoking, and deeply practical book about how to live a meaningful life, not by being overly positive, but by embracing reality as it is. It teaches you to stop wasting energy on things that don't truly matter and focus on what does. This book is not a guide to becoming careless or emotionless. Instead, it's about caring deeply for the right things, your values, purpose, and truth, and not caring about everything else that drains your peace and happiness. Mansion combines humor, philosophy, and raw honesty to help readers cut through illusions, toxic positivity, and social pressure. The result is a book that feels refreshing, direct, and deeply human. The core message. The main idea is simple but powerful. The key to a good life is not giving a fuck about more, it's about giving a fuck about less, only what is true and important. We all have limited time and energy, so the question is not whether you will care, but what you will choose to care about. Most people waste their energy on things like trying to impress others, obsessing over problems that don't matter, chasing constant happiness or perfection. Mark Manson says real strength is in accepting struggle, imperfection, and pain because those are part of life. Don't try. The book begins with a paradox. Don't try. This comes from writer Charles Bukowski's Tombstone, which says don't try. It means stop trying so hard to be something more. Stop chasing validation or endless positivity. When you stop desperately trying to be happy, you realize happiness comes naturally as a byproduct of living meaningfully, not as a constant goal. Mansion says the desire for a more positive experience is itself a negative experience. The acceptance of a negative experience is itself a positive experience. This is the first great truth. Acceptance is greater than avoidance. Happiness is a problem. We live in a world obsessed with happiness, but the truth is everyone struggles. Mansion says life is not about avoiding problems, but about choosing better problems. Every goal you chase brings new struggles. If you want to be rich, you must deal with risk, stress, and competition. If you want a great relationship, you must handle conflict and compromise. So the question is not how can I avoid problems? It's what problems am I willing to face and love. Real happiness comes from solving meaningful problems, not avoiding them. The value of suffering. Mansion says who you are is defined by what you are willing to struggle for. If you want to be fit, you must love the pain of exercise. If you want to be a writer, you must love the frustration of editing. If you want love, you must accept the vulnerability that comes with it. People want the rewards, success, money, admiration, but not the pain that creates them. The truth, pain is the path to growth. You are not special. This chapter hits hard, and that's the point. Modern culture teaches everyone they are special and deserve success or happiness just for existing. But Mansion says this belief creates entitlement, the illusion that you should have greatness without effort. He writes, you are not special, you are not unique, you are just like everyone else, a collection of hopes, fears, and mistakes. Accepting this truth doesn't make life meaningless, it makes it real. When you stop expecting life to owe you something, you become free to earn it through effort and purpose. The importance of saying no. To live a meaningful life, you must say no often. You can't care about everything or everyone's opinion. You have to set boundaries and choose what matters most to you. You only get a limited number of perks to give it in your life, so you better make sure you give them to the right things. For example, say no to fake friends, say no to chasing approval, say no to endless comparison. When you say no to what doesn't serve you, you say yes to what does, your peace, growth, and truth. The responsibility, fault, fallacy. Mansion makes an important distinction. Something may not be your fault, but it's still your responsibility. For example, if someone hurts you, that's not your fault, but healing from it, that's your responsibility. This idea is about taking ownership of your life. Blaming others gives away your power. Owning your response gives it back. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. Taking responsibility gives you freedom because now you are in charge of your reactions and direction. The truth about values. Our lives are shaped by our values, what we consider important. The problem is most people live by bad values such as pleasure, money, popularity, always being right. These are external and temporary. Mansion says good values are reality based, socially constructive, and controllable. Examples of good values: honesty, humility, growth, responsibility, kindness. Bad values make you anxious because they depend on things outside your control. Good values create a stability because they come from within. He writes, values underlie everything we think, feel, and do. If what we value is unhealthy, everything that results from it will be unhealthy too. The power of saying, I might be wrong. Certainty is dangerous, it stops growth. Mansion says we should learn to question ourselves constantly. The more you admit that you don't know, the more you grow. Instead of trying to always be right, focus on learning. This humility allows you to evolve, adapt, and connect more honestly with others. He encourages readers to replace pride with curiosity because every time you say, I might be wrong, you open a door to truth. Failure is the way forward. Most people fear failure, but failure is essential. Success comes from a long chain of small failures, learning, adjusting, improving. If you want to be a better, you have to start before you are ready. You'll fail a lot, and that's how you'll grow. Mansion tells readers to act first, to feel later. Waiting to feel ready keeps you stuck forever. Action creates clarity, hesitation creates doubt. Failure doesn't mean you are bad, it means you are trying. The importance of death. This chapter is philosophical and powerful. Manson says thinking about death is not morbid, it's motivating. When you face death, you realize what truly matters. You stop caring about superficial things and start focusing on meaning. You will die someday, and knowing that, truly knowing it, is what sets you free. Mortality teaches you gratitude, focus, and urgency. Instead of wasting time trying to look happy, you begin living fully now. The subtle art explained. So, what does not giving a fuck really mean? It means choosing your struggles wisely. It's not about ignoring problems, it's about facing the ones that truly matter. It's about saying, I don't care if people disagree, I care about being honest. I don't care if I fail, I care about growing. I don't care if I'm not rich, I care about living with purpose. Mansion's philosophy can be summed up as give fewer fucks but give them better. Key lessons: happiness comes from solving problems, not avoiding them. You can't be special in everything, and that's okay. Choose your struggles carefully, that's where meaning comes from. Take responsibility even for things that aren't your fault. Your values define your life, choose them wisely. Failure is necessary, fear of failure is deadly. Thinking about death makes life more precious. Final message: The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is a guide to living authentically by caring about less but more deeply. It strips away illusions of perfection and shows that peace comes from accepting life's chaos, not controlling it.